Audiobook Academy Biography presents Marie Curie. It was Marie Curie who became the first person to receive the Nobel Prize in both physics and chemistry, making her the first person to do so. As a result of her and her husband's work, polonium and radium were discovered, as well as X-rays. To date, Marie Curie is the only person ever to win a Nobel Prize twice, regardless of gender. Marie Curie's work with her husband, Pierre, led to the discovery of polonium and radium, as well as the advancement of X-ray technology following Pierre's death. Aplastic anemia, perhaps brought on by radiation exposure, claimed his life in 1934. Childhood and education. Marie Curie was born on November 7, 1867, in Warsaw as Maria Skłodowska, modern-day Poland. Zosia, Józef, Bronię and Hela were Curie's four older siblings. In fact, both of Curie's parents were educators. He was a math and physics teacher named Władysław. Tuberculosis claimed the life of Curie's mother, Bronislawa, when she was just 10 years old. Curie grew up looking a lot like her father. In school, she was a top student with a keen mind. Even though Curie was a top student in her high school, she was unable to enroll in the male-only University of Warsaw. Instead, she continued her study in Warsaw's floating university, a covert, informal series of classes held in the shadows of the city. For both Curie and her sister Bronię, going to school abroad was a goal, but they lacked the money to do so. Undeterred, Curie worked up a bargain with her sister. She would work to support Bronię while she was in school, and Bronię would return the favor after she completed her studies. Curie was a governess and a tutor for the better part of 5 years before moving on to other positions. After school, she spent her time reading about physics and chemistry as well as arithmetic and other subjects. Curie arrived in Paris in 1891 and enrolled at the Sorbonne, where she studied chemistry. Although Curie put her whole heart and soul into her studies, she paid a personal price for her devotion. She lived on buttered bread and tea since she had no other options, and her health suffered as a result. In 1893, Curie got a master's degree in physics, and the following year, she earned a math degree. Getting married to Pierre Curie. On July 26, 1895, Marie married Pierre Curie, a French physicist. A colleague of Marie's introduced the two of them after she graduated from Sorbonne University. Marie had been hired to conduct a study on the magnetic characteristics of various types of steel and needed a lab for her research. It was love at first sight between the two geniuses, and they became an inseparable scientific team. Marie and Pierre were initially working on separate projects when they met. Marie's discovery of radiation prompted Pierre to drop everything and lend a hand with his own studies. In 1906, Pierre was killed in Paris when he mistakenly stepped in front of a horse-drawn vehicle. Marie was devastated. Despite her deep sorrow, she took over his Sorbonne teaching position and became the first woman to hold that position. It was in 1911 that Paul Langevin, Curie's husband's former pupil, was made aware of her contact with him. Because of France's growing anti-immigrant sentiment, the press attacked Curie for breaking up Langevin's marriage. Children. Irene was born to Marie and Pierre in 1897. They had another child in 1904, a daughter named Vay. In 1935, Irene Curie won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry, following in her mother's footsteps. Her work on the synthesis of new radioactive elements earned her and her husband, Frédéric Joliot, a joint Nobel Prize. One of many biographies of her renowned mother, Madame Curie, was written in 1937 by Marie Curie and eventually made into a film by the same name. Discoveries. While experimenting with the material pitchblende, Curie and her husband Pierre discovered radioactivity in the radioactive isotopes polonium and radium. She also championed the creation of X-rays following Pierre's death. Radioactivity, polonium, and radium. Becquerel, a French scientist who discovered uranium emits lower energy radiation than that identified by Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen, was an inspiration for Curie, who pushed his work to the next level. Uranium rays remained consistent regardless of the state or shape of the uranium in Curie's experiments. She hypothesized that the rays were emitted by the atomic structure of the element. Inventions like this one paved the way for atomic physics. Indeed, it was Curie who first used the term radioactivity to characterize this phenomenon. When Marie Curie and her husband Pierre discovered radioactivity, they continued their research together. In 1898, while studying pitchblende, the two scientists discovered a new radioactive element. In honor of Curie's native Poland, they dubbed the element polonium. Pitchblende was also found to contain another radioactive substance, which they referred to as radium. 1 decigram of pure radium was synthesized in 1902 by the Curies, who claimed that it was the first chemical element ever discovered. She dedicated her time and resources to the war effort in 1914, when World War I began. Because of her advocacy, mobile X-ray units are now commonly referred to as Little Curies. Post-war, Curie capitalized on her newfound fame to further her scientific work. In 1921 and 1929, she went to the United States to solicit donations for the purchase of radium and the creation of a radium research facility in Warsaw. Nobel Prizes. Curie earned 2 Nobel Prizes, for physics in 1903 and for chemistry in 1911. She made history by being the first female Nobel laureate and the first person, male or female, to win the prize twice. She is the first person to be awarded for accomplishments in 2 separate sciences. Curie received the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1903, together with her husband and Henri Becquerel, for their discoveries on radioactivity. After their victory, the Curie's scientific work was recognized around the world, and they were able to put the money from their prize into further study. In 1911, Curie won her second Nobel Prize, this time in chemistry, for her discovery of radium and polonium. While she got the prize alone, she shared the distinction jointly with her late spouse in her acceptance lecture. Around this time, Curie attended the first Solvay Congress in Physics, where she and other prominent scientists like Albert Einstein and Max Planck discussed recent advances in their respective fields. Marie Curie's cause of death. Curie died on July 4, 1934, of aplastic anemia, believed to be induced by extended exposure to radiation. She was known to carry test tubes of radium about in the pocket of her lab coat. Her many years working with radioactive materials took a toll on her health. Legacy. Curie accomplished several accomplishments in her lifetime. Remembered as a pioneering person in science and a role model for women, she has won numerous posthumous honors. Several educational and scientific organizations and medical clinics hold the Curie name, including the Curie Institute and Pierre and Marie Curie University, UPMC. The remains of Marie and Pierre Curie were laid to rest in the Panthéon in Paris in 1995. Marie became the first and one of just 5 women to be put to rest there. In 2017, the Panthéon organized an exhibition to mark the 150th birthday of the pioneering physicist. In 2017, Marie Curie, The Courage of Knowledge, starring Polish actress Karolina Gruszka, brought the Nobel laureate story back to the big screen. In 2018, Amazon revealed that a new Curie biopic was in the works, starring British actress Rosamund Pike. Thank you for listening in Audiobook Academy. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button for more content like this. See you in next video.